So I started off double. And I was like, this is wild. This guy's a little weird. You know, maybe I don't like this tall hippie. I went down to the range. I shanked 3 golf balls and I snapped every single club over my knee.
All right.
Wow.
Pete, Athletes and Sports Podcast. We have a very, very special guest. Pete Follese has been a long-time friend, about 8 years, of us personally, but also with the In Sports Foundation. Pete is the CEO of National Insurance Brokers. He's a Division II golf dropout. Division III?
Division III dropout.
Okay, Division. I got that wrong. Division III golf dropout at Minnesota Crookston, and also helped us found the Broken Club, which we'll get into here as well. But maybe Pete, we just start right off with what's this all about? This golf dropout, college golf dropout.
Yeah. Okay. So. This is a long story, but I played competitive high school golf, right?
Yeah.
I got Forest Lake.
Forest Lake.
Yep. Just never left. I just love it up there. But I was decent at, high school golf. I took 6th in state and was pretty cocky about my golf game. I was like, all right, cool.
Was state at Bunker Hills? Is that like your Forest Lake is right there? So you played that growing up?
We didn't play it a ton.
Okay.
I mean, probably like once, twice a year.
I was going to say that's
like
why you took 6 maybe, but no.
Yeah, no.
All right.
You
were good.
Yeah, I played good. I really liked playing out there. It was super fun. I liked the competition, and I was like, all right, I got a mini scholarship for like $15,000 to go to the University of Minnesota in Crookston, most beautiful town in America. And yeah, I met some great people up there, but college golf is way tough. Trying to
very tough
stay up with like your grades, and then like. You're totally not in your community anymore. Like you had a house where you had mom and dad and your friends, and now you're in Crookston, Minnesota with your new friends that you just met. One's named Payne Forrester. and you're just like, okay, I have no sense of self anymore. And now my golf game's going downhill because I'm not used to playing like with these people, and this golf course is weird. And then
because they have a weird course there, don't they?
Minocqua. It's a 9-hole golf course. And it's just quirky as could be. It's like 2,800 yards. Good, fun little golf course.
Yeah, but that's where you practice as a college.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. The kid that grew up in town there, his name was Jake Sanders. Awesome dude. But for the qualifier, he shot 60. That's like the golf course he played growing up. So he'd be like, all right, this is a 290 yard par 4. I'm gonna hit a 5-iron over the corner. So he's driving the par 4s.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was kind of fun, but yeah, it was an interesting time. But so, college golf was overwhelming. I was failing in all my classes. And so at the end of the year, I went back down to Forest Lake, started playing golf again with all my friends. And then one of my college golf friends, Jeremy Tetrault, and I played match play at Forest Hills for $20. And I had him 6 down through 9 holes. And then he whittled his way back to beating me. And I was pretty sour about that because Jeremy had just went off to college too. He went with Kyle. You guys know Kyle Lewis. Mm-hmm. So they were at the same college together, and Jeremy loved college. You had Kyle there. He had all of his friends there. He was 20 minutes from home, and he was playing better golf than me. So I went down to the range. I shanked 3 golf balls, and I snapped every single club over my knee. Every single one of them as a 19-year-old.
And then were you just done for golf for a while?
I was done. Yeah. No, 3 years. 4 years. 23 is when I picked it up again.
So this is a freshman year of college. You came home?
Yep.
And played Jeremy?
Yep.
What course?
Forest Hills.
Forest Hills.
Yep.
And then did you call your college?
9. That's nuts.
Because when did you decide to not go back to Crookston?
That was kind of like part of it too. I was like... I was so demoralizing. I'm like, I'm not going to go back up there to play golf. Like, that sucks.
And you weren't doing well in school.
I wasn't doing well in school. So I was like, well, I guess I could go be a bartender.
Wow.
So yeah, I got into cooking, and that's where I did find
you are a good cook.
Yeah, that's where I found my love of cooking and hosting and serving. So I'm happy that I did it. But yeah, I quit golf for 4 years, and now I'm just like the biggest golf psycho in the world.
And when you say quit, like you did not pick up a club, like you didn't
Correct.
golf at all.
I did not golf, period. I'm going to just take a look here. I want to know how many rounds I'm at this year. I'm not trying to brag, but like, this is just what happens every year. It's obnoxious. Last year it was 200 rounds.
And you're a scratch. You're at 0.0.
Yep. 0.0. Yeah. I am at 63 scores. So
Wow.
not quite to 70
yeah.
yet.
And
But-
it's not even July yet.
Yeah.
Just turned July 1. Yeah.
But maybe
Wow.
by the time this episode airs, you'll have 100.
I hope so.
Probably.
Yeah, but I'm not going to try to play 200 rounds again. That sucked. That was too much. I think this is such,
From 0 to 200.
from 100 to 150. I think would be a quality amount of golf for a year.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot of
where
golf.
a lot of people that are, in business, they'll get out like 2-3 times a year.
Well, I mean, as you well know, I tried to turn business or golf into business because I found that out pretty early on in my career. I'd see people go out to the golf course and I was like, I don't know what I got to do to make that happen more often, but I want to make that happen more often. And then, so that's how I got into hosting everybody.
Yeah.
And now I mean, today I'm literally hosting 7 people. 3 of them are from Sonus Interiors. 2 of them are from Mortensen Construction. 1 of them is from Mission Construction. Not Eric Ailing though.
Tom.
No,
No?
one of their employees. Yeah, he knew one of the Sonus guys. But yeah, I'm hosting them. It's going to be great. We're just, talk a little bit about business, talk about golf, just have a fun time, get to know each other, figure out if it's easy to do business together or not. And, it doesn't have to be about business, but sometimes business just naturally comes from it. It's kind of fun.
There's no other spot where you could sit with somebody for 4 hours, like in a cart or walking down the fairway. Like you can't get that going to somebody's office and being in a conference room with somebody.
It sucks. I mean, we got lucky meeting at Caribou. I don't know what happened there. That was great. Our synergy was wonderful. But yeah, usually when you go into those like short, like, oh, here's your like get to know you or like one-on-one with somebody. I feel like it's so like I gotta go right away. Like,
there's like an agenda. You have like an
Yeah.
incentive, like to pull something out of them. Or on the golf course, like you see somebody hit a bad shot, like the barriers are down.
Yeah, you're gonna know how they react in those types of situations.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You get to see them. You get to see them on the golf course. You get to see them in all like the way they interact with people, the way how they hold themselves if they're playing really good, really bad, blah blah blah. But I think the big thing for me is like there's no timeline to it. So like they're already here. They're committed to you for the day. So it's not like I'm worried about my next appointment or my next calls. They might be like, I got to get home, but like, they can't be getting home on hole 7.
Right.
Right. So yeah, I think
unless they break all their clubs and then they just are done with golf.
But yeah, so I think people let their guard down a lot and then are just truly who they are. And then you can be like, okay, do I want to do business with you? Great. And then also, do they want to do business with me?
Yeah.
Like, maybe they might be like, this guy's a little weird. Maybe I don't like this tall hippie. But yeah.
So before we get into business, do you have any good college golf stories when you were at Crookston? Like that freshman year, you didn't really know anybody when you were up there, but like you played in some tournaments. Did you like do well in any of the tournaments, or do you have any good like college golf stories?
I would say the best thing that college golf brought to me was meeting the people that I did just outside of my box. So a guy that I still talk to today, he's a PXG club fitter now, but his name is Jack Hanna. Great dude from Lino Lakes, or played in Centennial.
Yeah.
I knew of him in high school golf, but like him and I didn't like each other.
Yeah.
He was like number 1 guy on his team and I was like top couple on my team, and I think there's just a little rivalry.
Yeah.
But we get to, meet each other up there, and he's the one that kind of taught me how to play guitar, and like I learned a bunch of like life lessons, I guess, if you will, through that, and like creating a new friendship. And it's kind of been just, I'd say that's the coolest thing I got out of the college golf experience. I think the tournaments are stressful and challenging and way too long. Like 5-hour rounds, nobody should have to do that.
Yeah.
It's just it should almost be illegal. Like we just played in a pro-am in Northfield, which granted they had 5-somes, which I think is dumb, but I'm sure they had their reason for it. But they're like, we expect 4 hours and 29 minutes 2 hours and 29 minutes in the front, 2 hours and 30 minutes in the back. I was like, you want 4 hours and 59 minutes? that's what you're expecting. I was like, oh, I don't know if I like this.
Yeah, you play
And
fast golf. Like,
like
you're ready.
it's just, I don't want to sit there all day. Like I got something to do later. Like I don't want to just sit there on every shot and just be like, wow, that's a cool tree, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I think, building friendships through, and then just kind of just being in a new world and just, throwing yourself out there and seeing, what happens. I still talk to Payne Forrester like once every 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even though golf is like an individual sport, it's interesting you say that, is like the team part of it, and like just playing sports and being a part of a team and a community is like the best thing you took from college.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and that's kind of the unique thing, like high school and college golf. Like, yeah, you are playing as an individual, but your score counts for your team score.
Yeah,
so
which I do love that.
Because you don't want to let your teammates down.
Correct.
And everybody's kind of waiting because they take usually, 4 out of the 6 or 4 out of the 5 scores, and you don't want to be that guy that they didn't take that score.
Never.
No.
Yeah, I will say, that is definitely the best part of the team sport thing. I wish they did that. That's one thing Live Golf got right. But like on the PGA Tour, how cool would that be to see like,
Well, that's why the Ryder Cup is so fantastic.
That's exactly
it's
it.
Like, it's the team.
And and those players like the Ryder Cup the most because it's a team thing.
Yeah.
It's not just themselves.
Yeah.
Country.
Yeah, you got to grind your ass off in there, and it's like you're doing it for your team, not just you. It's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so you break every club in your bag.
Yep.
You go bartend, learn how to cook.
Yep.
When did you transition into like insurance and getting into the business side of things?
So I was 23 years old, 22 turning 23. And so October of 22, when I was 22, I had it's technically my third cousin. It's my dad's uncle, or my dad's cousin, sorry. And so I knew him. He was kind of an uncle to me. Jason Richmond's his name. And he was always just kind of like, you should try insurance. I think you might like it. And he was always kind of in my ear growing up about it. Not a ton, just like, there. And then, I kind of just got sick of working 6 to 7 days a week. And then I skateboarded up to work. I'd be up till 2:00 in the morning working. And then I'd stay up till 6 in the morning. And I was like, I have no friends, So I had my restaurant family and that was it. So I was just kind of getting over with that. So, one of the days I just called Jason up. I had like no clothes for the professional world. None. Cut off jeans, shorts. No golf clothes because I wasn't a golfer. I was a full blown skater kid. I had big holes in my ears. Did you ever meet me with gauges?
I think I saw a picture.
Okay. Yeah. Like my thumb size through my ear.
Those closed up nice then.
Yeah, they did. And then I had, like a lip ring for a hot minute, a nose ring for a hot minute. I mean, it was a wild time. But so I went into the insurance world and, I found out that it was a lot like serving tables, just being like service, being responsive to what people's needs are, whatever they want, ask for. So you could relate that in the business sense. And it's kind of like constantly going. So it was kind of fun. I found success in the sales world, obviously, built a book of business. And then I don't remember exactly when I started to pick up golf again, but I remember in insurance, I got invited to go play the Meadows so at the time, the agency I was at, Insurance Advisors, which no longer exists, it got sold to Northwest Partners, and then I bought the other half to create National Insurance Brokers. But so at the time, we insured Mystic Lake Casinos, or the Minnewacan Sioux Tribe. Hokan was the agent, and he still is today, actually. Really solid dude. I learned a lot from him over the years. But he invited me to go play golf with him, and I like aspired to be him because I was just like, time out, you're going to go, your client's inviting you to go play golf at 10:00 on a Tuesday. And he's like, yeah, do you have like clubs and all? And I was like, no. I'm going to figure this out though.
And so he's probably thinking like, this guy's never played golf in his life.
No, he knew.
Okay.
Yeah. So Jason had explained, Pete grew up playing golf. He played competitive golf. I don't know if he golfs anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. Isn't that wild?
You have to think where you are now.
Yeah,
with how many rounds
it is totally nuts to think about. Like, I couldn't even hit the ball like when I was 20. I mean, I could, but I was like a legit 10 handicap probably.
Yeah, starting over.
Yeah, starting over. Basically, I had to reinvent a golf swing, and now, I mean, you've seen it. It's a treat. But yeah, it's.
We should put a clip of it in this podcast so everybody can see
the step through
swing.
Yeah. I mean, it's a very unique thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really aspired to doing that. I just thought that was the coolest thing ever. So I ended up getting like kind of putting together hodgepodge clubs because my dad he loves to collect.
Yeah.
So I had like this little tiny Arnold Palmer L bend putter, like Mizuno irons from who knows when, a driver that was forever old. And I just kind of put a bag together. And then the next time I got an invite, I'd go out and play. But yeah, I got to go play Windsong Farm during the like work day. You know, I'd be like, bye everybody in the office.
Yep.
I'm taking off to go play golf with Hokan and his client. And I just thought that was the coolest thing ever. So that's kind of what I aspired to do. And I figured that part out.
Yeah.
So that's been fun. But I mean, it's crazy the people you meet by doing it though. So like there is purpose to it. I know like a lot of people can look at it and be like, you just play golf every day. It's like, I'm networking literally every day.
Yeah.
Like I meet so many people that I would never meet, you know, like,
And how many people now do you employ through national insurance brokers?
gosh, I think we're at 50 people now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hey listeners, we want to take a quick moment to tell you about the InSports Foundation. At InSports, we believe every child deserves the chance to play sports regardless of their financial situation. Our mission is to provide free camps, scholarships, and team sponsorships to reduce the cost of sports and help more kids get in the game. As we all know, through sports, kids can learn valuable life lessons, stay active, and maintain their mental well-being. To support our mission and help us give more kids the opportunity to play, visit insportsfoundation.org and consider making a donation today. Together, we can make a difference. CEO running the company, golfing 5 days a week. Do any of like the employees are like, Pete's golfing again, but like it's all business.
Yeah,
Like,
it's all business.
yeah.
I mean, there are definitely fun rounds in there.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
like, so this is a business round. So I got to go play Minneapolis Golf Club with my friend Max, my friend Brad, who's a part of the Broken Club, and my friend Drew Lynch, who's my banker. And I was like,
It works.
but it's networking.
And it's really, even if it's people you know, like it's still just building that relationship.
It's building the relationship. Yeah. It's so much fun. And to be fair, though, we did come up with some good ideas. Like Brad and I are going to go to Sand Valley now. We've got some more ideas, but we're talking about Brad opening up his new location. You know, we're going to talk a little bit about business. You know, it's just fun to see, like, be around other people that want to grow their businesses and do their thing. Just kind of like what you guys are doing. Like, the fact that we're doing this right now is like way cool. Yeah. I'm like, what are we doing? You know? So, but yeah, it's just fun to be around people that, you know, have that type of energy and just want to do better and like keep talking about ideas. Like, you know, like when we came up with the idea for the Broken Club, the loose idea for we're going to have 144 golfers for $10,000 a person at the White Bear Yacht Club and somebody's going to get Super Bowl tickets.
Yeah.
Didn't turn out that way.
No,
but
that could still happen.
It could still happen. We're a ways out from that.
I don't know if we are. I think we're getting pretty close. So this was around at White Bear Yacht Club.
Yeah.
That you guys had, and you're like, okay, we're sick of charity golf. Not sick of them, but like
it wasn't we. It was me.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm
Well, I agree. Like charity golf. I mean, that's how we raise most of our money for the InSports Foundation.
It makes sense.
It's a charity golf tournament, but it's a long round. It's a scramble. You got a mix of good people, bad people.
And I'm not knocking that by any stretch of imagination. There's a place for it. I love it.
Yep.
Nope, not every round. And so Pete and I are playing the yacht club, and we're like, okay, what could we do to make a more competitive outing that's still going back to charity?
Yep.
And now we've got this group of 20 people called the Broken Club. We've had 2 events this year at private clubs, and the funds are going back to helping kids play golf through the first tee. But that stemmed from a round of golf.
Yeah. And why the Broken Club? Like where did that start?
Well, it was kind of like a merging of the names, National Insurance Brokers in sports.
Yep.
So broken or broker. So take that, you know, so broke in.
I remember having the meeting downtown Minneapolis and trying to like figure
how does
out
this work
with like a
you
wine
were scratching your head.
glass and
But then we wanted to have people bring old clubs, break them, and then regrip them and give them to kids.
Which is a great idea.
Great concept, but those clubs, like if you break a club, it gets even stiffer.
Yep.
And
Makes
the
it
head's
tough.
probably way too big for a kid. So now what we're doing is we're buying these old clubs at Savers that nobody's ever going to use.
Yep.
$8-7.
And they shouldn't be
clubs.
using
They
them.
shouldn't be used. The symbol is to break them.
Yeah.
The winners get to break them. We do it at the opening tee shot, but then these members are paying a good amount of money to be a part of this club.
Yep.
And we're going to use that money to get kids clubs, lessons, memberships, and just because there's so many life lessons from golf. Like that's the whole point. And now in the business world, like there's just so many opportunities you have if you're somebody in your office that's like, yeah, I'll go golf.
Totally. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and like, even like for the kids getting into golf too, like I do vividly remember growing up on a golf course. My parents used it as daycare, honestly. And it wasn't like we were not members at some fancy private golf course. We were members at Forest Hills Golf Club. I think it was like $1,100 a year for your whole family. I have no idea what it was back in the day, but basically I had, like friends on the 8th hole, the 5th hole, the 10th hole or the 14th hole, and then like Kyle lived across the street, and then Jeremy's parents would drop him off. So like I just grew up around these people, and like we just didn't have anything else to do except play golf. We get to learn about like so much, like just about the world that we live in, like nature. You learn about golf course construction, you learn about irrigation, like you just learn stuff that you're just like you won't learn just going to the class and or whatever it is, daycare, whatever.
When there's so many etiquette things in golf, like respecting others, being quiet when they're hitting.
I'm not good at that sometimes.
No, but like you don't really get that in a lot of other sports, maybe like tennis or something. But it's definitely a gentleman's game, and there's so many things that kids can take away from learning the rules and learning how to play, and it is physically like you walk a full 18, like it's a grind.
It is exhausting.
People don't think they think it's just a walk in the park, but it's a workout.
It is a workout, and that's why I try to do it every day. That is my workout that I make sure I do.
But you're doing some other stuff too.
Yeah, I do. I mean, I do go to the Y, and then Alchemy is the greatest thing in the world. I'm gonna give a little plug to them. I go to the Highland Alchemy once a week. I haven't been
And what do you
going.
do there?
It's like this really intense 50-minute class, but it's like 10 minutes of like power yoga, like loosening up, 20 minutes of just hardcore high intensity exercises that you just don't stop for 21 minutes, and it's in a group setting, and then it's like this 20-minute cool down type of thing. It is phenomenal. I highly recommend it for everybody. I go with my girlfriend Emily and her best friend Annie, and we have a great time. But every single time I leave, I'm like, oh my God, I hurt. But yeah, it's super fun. But yeah, I think the trying to stay healthy though, like so I can keep playing golf. Well, and keep meeting people and keep doing the thing, I
mean, our bodies are like our number one asset that we have. Like if you don't keep up on your health, you can't do business, you can't play golf, you can't play sports, you're not going to live as long.
Totally.
If you don't take care of yourself.
Yeah. I mean, like 5-6 years ago, I was like a severe migraine struggler, like probably like once a month. And I think you might've seen me get one before. But like I'm out, like I'm out of commission entirely for like 24 hours. And it kind of got old. I was just like, this literally, like I had an invite once to go play Minnetonka and I got a migraine. Like, it was like one of the first times I ever got to play there.
One of the best courses in the state.
Yeah. And I was just like, I can't believe I'm telling this guy that I can't show up because I have a headache.
Yeah.
And so after that was a big moment for me where I kind of started to be like, I should start to do things different. So I started to see a chiropractor, Dr. Kyle. And I see him once a week. He's one of my best friends, so I got a lucky deal. I give him a cup of coffee, he adjusts me.
That's a good deal.
We got a great deal. But yeah, I mean, like that was crucial. I started to actually notice my migraines starting to go away, but then it was kind of a combination of like, what am I eating and trying to just stay healthy. And then it kind of ties back into like your work life and like wanting to be your best at your work life and wanting to be your best at your golf life or whatever. Just as
personal,
a human being. And it's just like, okay, well, I'm not trying to be crazy about anything, because I think that you can definitely go
Plenty
the
of those
long.
people.
Yeah, overdo it.
Yeah, I'm just going my own way about it. Take
Right.
it however I can, and it's try to do things, like don't need burgers and fries every day.
Right.
But
Moderation.
definitely enjoy a big fat burger once in a while.
Yeah.
And maybe twice in a while. Yeah. But, and just making conscious decisions to try to be healthy. Because, as a 34-year-old, I didn't think I would start to feel like, oh my God, my knee hurts.
Right.
And I'm like, I need to do something to stay in shape. So.
And just like the mental well-being too, after a workout too, that it's like after finishing a race, that mindset, it completely shifts. And it's like, I feel so good.
I'm there right now.
And golfing is probably one of the biggest mental workouts. Like if you haven't,
Mental warfare.
Dude,
it is.
That's a great way to put it. Mental warfare is right.
Especially when you're at 8-10 handicap.
Hey, you're a grinder, man. You are scrappy.
Well, yeah, and that even adds to the mental warfare.
But that's what I mean, though. That's I think that's what makes you so good, is you're that 10 handicap where I'm like, he might make that 12-footer for birdie right now.
because he wants it.
He wants it.
Yeah.
He's grinding for it. Oh, that's so great.
What other things have you learned just about your mental wellness through golf or through working out? Like, is there any other things that you're doing to stay?
I do see a therapist.
Okay.
Yep. I try it. It is tough to find a therapist, honestly. So I am on to a new therapist, which I've only done one meeting with her.
Especially one that you can connect with and you feel good about.
Yeah. Because I did see a therapist 3 or 4 times earlier this year. She was great. Really nice lady. But she didn't get me.
Yeah.
I didn't get her.
Yeah, if you don't connect.
We just did not. It was awkward as hell.
Yep.
I was just like, you don't want to be here. I don't want to be here.
Yeah, you kind of need that common ground.
Yeah, we got to be like, oh, you like Shih Tzus? Yeah, so do I. Cool.
Yep.
We don't need to. She doesn't need to know about golf.
Yeah.
I got a bigger life than that. But just being able to have a conversation. So I have a new gal that I just did a first appointment with, I don't know, a couple weeks back, and it went super great. I was like, you walk in, you don't have your shoes on. They don't let you have your shoes on in there, and they're like,
gosh, we should have done that today. No shoes.
Yeah, stay grounded.
But also,
those
I
are
cool.
I like the shoes. But and it was just super laid back and chill, and she kind of connected with me and asked some not better, but just different questions that resonated with me more. So yeah, that was pretty eye-opening, just to see a different therapist that was like, oh wow, and we connect with. So I'm excited for my next appointment, which is July 15th.
Okay.
Which if anyone wants to be there, I don't recommend being there, but that's when it is.
With that being said, I do recommend seeing a therapist. I've seen one too a number of times, and I think breaking that barrier of oh, they see a therapist to talk about their thoughts. The mental health piece is so crucial, and I think in the last couple of years, it's definitely becoming more awareness, creating more awareness. But
totally,
our foundation tries to teach that at all of our camps as the mental health being the best you curriculum.
Yeah,
and I think part of that
that
is seeing somebody and talking to them about it. There's nothing bad about going to talk to somebody about your feelings, and I think as middle-aged guys too, we need that just as much as anybody else.
Yeah. And you might think that it's a sign of weakness or being soft, but I mean, it's a big part of your life. I went to therapy in high school. I was having some tough times. My grandma was really sick, and I was having just a really hard time coping with the thought of her dying, and it was affecting because hockey was my main sport.
Yeah.
A little bit of golf, but mostly hockey, and I was struggling with it, and I found a therapist who got a great hockey background, and it really just helped me. I could connect with them, get my personal stuff figured out, but then we talked a lot about sports and how to overcome if you have a bad shift or a bad practice, how do you get through that? And for golf, it's if you have a bad shot, you gotta get that out of your mind quick.
Oh, the mental demons that come with the game of golf. It's a scary place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there something you do on the golf course that help? If you hit a bad shot, what do you do to get to your next shot?
Well, nowadays I shouldn't say it's not easy, but it's a lot easier for me because I had that mental break back when I was 19 years old. And also back when I was playing golf, then I was a hothead. You guys didn't play golf with me, but anybody.
So you're one of the calmest golfers.
I know,
ever,
dude. You should ask Dougie. Ask Dougie if he remembers Pete playing golf back in high school. I was a hot head. Like I was, I threw clubs. I kicked my bag over. I snapped clubs. I was just an asshole on the golf course. To be honest with you, it sucked, and that was part of the reason I had that big break. But that was so much emotions built up.
It wasn't just the one round.
No, it wasn't. It was Jeremy probably wants to think that.
Yeah.
He's like, I caused him to quit golf. But
a lot of years.
But yeah, so I mean, I think that has completely changed my mentality towards things. And then so now, like when I go play golf, like it is such a privilege that I get to play golf. Like I'm physically capable too. I'm decent, which is kind of fun too.
Yeah.
But like, and I have, the ability to have a flexible enough schedule, and, know people that want to go play golf. So like, I think of it as such a huge privilege. So it's like, I'm out on the golf course. I can't get if I slice one out of bounds, I can't get that upset.
No,
it sucks.
Like you could be in a lot of other places.
Totally. I could be dealing with my taxes.
Yeah.
I could be in an accounting firm. Like I could, I do love my job.
You could be selling toilet paper.
Yeah. Well, you seem to do it. You make it look good. But yeah, I do love to sell insurance and I love the grind at work, but there's so many tasks that you could be doing that you don't want. So if you're out on the golf course, enjoy it.
Yeah.
Like seriously, you get bad breaks. Like I played at, in Northfield the other day. First time ever. Awesome golf course.
Very fun golf course.
Really awesome golf course. But so we played in the Pro-Am. So it's a pretty competitive, serious round. We've got our pro from the White Bear Yacht Club, Bennett Smed. And then I've got Nick, Reed, and Jeremy, which are, some of my high school and work buddies. And we get to the first hole at Northfield Country Club and the guy's like, yeah, you can cut the corner. So I'm like, all right, let's try it. So I just piped
big
one.
dog leg left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Big dog leg left over the creek, but it's a completely blind shot for a tee ball. And so I just piped one right into a tree, like just gone out of bounds. And I was like, okay, not a great start. And so then I hit another one into the right weeds or right rough up in the trees. And I just hacked it around, made a double. And I'm like, all right, whatever, tough day. I haven't started with a double in a long, long time, but I'm playing golf with my friends to Thursday. Life's great. I'm playing Northfield Country Club. What more do I want? Get to the next hole. I hit a beautiful 7-iron right at the flag. It's with a 185 yard par three.
Yep.
Right at the flag. It goes right into the sun too. So I thought I hit a great one. I'm 20 yards short. And I was like, I don't know what happened there. I don't know if I just didn't work out enough. Something happened. It was weird. And so I was like, okay, well, just got a double. Let's hit a nice little chip shot, get it close. So I was aggressive with it, hit one way long. And then 3-putted. So I started off double. And I was like, this is wild. What is happening? Like I was starting to kind of be like, oh my God, I'm getting pissed. And so I bogeyed the next 2 holes. So I'm 6 over through 4 holes. Very unlike me.
Yes.
And I don't remember what it was, but I think it was Reed that said something. He's like, Pete, don't hit your driver. Just hit your 3-iron. Hit your little stinger shot that you like and just do it. So on the 5th hole, it's like, 5th hole. Downhill par 4, pretty straight, like 370. And I was like, fine. So I just smoked like that little stinger 3-iron, you know what I'm talking about? Like 270. Like it went forever. I had a sand wedge in, put it to a foot and made my putt. And I was like, all right, I'm back on top of the world.
Yeah. So no pars.
Yeah, no pars. Well, and so I put the next hole, I put it to a foot and made another birdie. So, but like you just never know what's going to happen on golf. So don't get mad.
No,
it's just, that's the story of it. Like it is frustrating as hell. Like it is probably the most frustrating sport in the world. You're going to hit a really good shot pretty dang soon. I promise. It's just waiting for you. You don't know which one it's going to be. So wait for it.
I've been listening to a lot of like Tony Robbins stuff and just how he talks about being grateful and that you can't be stressed or anxious and grateful at the same time.
That's very true.
So I've started, anytime I hit a bad shot or if I remember, if I'm about to hit a shot, I'm just like, I'm grateful for being here right now.
Yeah.
I'm like, how can I be mad?
Totally.
And sometimes even like I go play with my son Braxton, and that's a whole nother
that's an added
deal.
element.
But you want your kids to get into the game and play and have those opportunities. but it can be stressful playing with your kids, especially when they don't know the rules
Yeah.
and they're getting stressed. And I'm like, okay, I'm grateful that I had a chance to bring my son out to golf. And he feels that too, and it makes him calmer. Where I think I've played with son, like even when I was growing up, and some parents are like telling their kid what to do every single time, and they're getting stressed and they're not having fun, and then they don't even want to bring their kid out to play.
Yeah, you gotta make it fun. I mean, I remember the first time you brought Braxton out to the yacht club.
Yeah,
that was like probably top 5 favorite golf experience. I've played the yacht club 1,000 times. That was a top 5 day.
Yeah, he had a golden ball.
Well, and he teed it up from the blue tees on number 2, and it's like there's no way that he's gonna get anywhere near the end of the tee box even.
Yeah,
but he just wanted to play with the boys and hang out in the back tee box.
Yep.
And then. What was the song that he was listening to?
Oh, some football song.
Yeah, it was a football team. It was
Pittsburgh Steelers thing.
But he was just having a blast. And I think it was, 6 holes that he lasted. And then you plugged that in, and then he's
just DJ for the rest.
Just pretty much. Yeah. But yeah, that was such a great experience. And like, I don't know if he's picked up golf totally, but it sure sounds like it.
He now, like he plays his ball out. He's a 6-year-old.
Yeah.
And he plays from the front tees at Olympic. He plays his ball out. He wants to go back a set of tees. And I'm like, you got to shoot in the 40s to do. So he's shooting in like the 60s right now.
Okay.
But he can hit 100-yard tee shot straight. Every shot is straight.
Okay.
Down the middle, straight. But he just keeps hitting 100-yard shots till he gets to the hole.
Dang.
Yeah. It's fun.
That's super fun. That's awesome. Yeah. And I think like, I know a lot of people are intimidated to play golf with their kids on a golf course just because of like pace of play, or they're like, oh, somebody's right behind me. I don't want to stress people out. But it's like, all you got to do is just kind of like pay attention to your surroundings and, pick it up when you like, nobody's playing professional golf here.
Yeah.
Right.
Zero.
Yeah.
Like not happening. And also they're playing 5-hour rounds, so we don't even need to talk about them. But so like, all you have to do is be like, oh, can I tell the people behind me are catching up? All right, so maybe you pick up your ball a little bit and go to the next tee box and then start playing. Like they're gonna
your score doesn't matter.
Yeah, your score doesn't matter. We're here to not be stressed out about the people behind us or get stressed out because we're worried about pace of play. Just play the golf course. You're outside, enjoy the architecture, have fun.
Do you know someone who could benefit from this episode? If so, please take the time to share it with them. Whether it's an athlete, a coach, a parent, or just someone who loves inspiring stories, we want to get this message out, and we need you to help make that happen. And what we did when Braxton started, now he's playing his own ball, but he would hit a tee shot.
Yep.
And then we'd pick up his ball because everybody likes to hit a tee shot.
Yeah.
But it's that middle game that people get so frustrated on. And then we would go to like 20 yards out from the green, drop a ball, and he'd play his ball out there. And then once he started like getting that down, we kept going back and back until he could play the whole hole.
Yeah.
So then you kind of cutting out that middle. So it speeds up play. They're having more fun.
So much more fun.
And then it's just a different game. Like, what score can you get from 20 yards in? Can you par the hole from 20 yards in?
Just making little games.
I can't do that a lot.
Yeah. But that, like, people need to learn the short game, and because everybody focuses on the drivers, and it's like, if you can learn how to putt, you're going to be a good golfer.
Yeah, that's what so my brother's been trying to get into golf a little bit. He hated golf growing up, so he just never played. But he is like, what can I do to get better at golf? And it's like, well, you can't play once a year, number one. But I just told him, no matter what you do, get your ball in the hole. However it is that you put it in there,
finish.
But like really pay attention to trying to get it in the hole, because the closer you get to the hole, the tougher it gets. I mean, I feel bad for Rory, but like, a short putt, really insanely hard putt, but like, like a professional can miss a putt like that. So, if you can work on that little inner circle, then the game kind of expands. I mean, shit, I think I just figured out how to hit my driver last year. I've been playing this game
and then the next round it goes away.
Yeah, it totally.
You forget.
I mean, like this spring, you had the ugliest driver swing of ever. I don't even know what happened. No. It's like, Max, what's going on? I'm looking at it, I can't even tell. It seems like it's corrected itself.
Yeah, it's just little tweaks though.
Yeah.
And unless you have a coach that you see regularly, which not a lot of people can afford to do that. I watch a lot of YouTube videos. I'm like, okay, what am I doing here to fix that? Because it's so nice to have that technology, the access to, it's pretty much a swing coach in your pocket to figure out
Yeah.
how to fix these hooks.
So how fully did you diagnose it? You just went on to YouTube and
How to not duck hook.
really?
Yeah.
Okay.
How
Nice.
not to duck up.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a million different ways. Like I never would have thought to do that actually.
Well, Victor Hovland, that's because in Norway in the winter it's cold and you can't golf.
Yeah.
And he just looks at YouTube stuff and
Really?
tweaks his swing, probably hits balls into a net.
I did not know that.
We never had a coach or a instructor growing up or took a lesson. It was all YouTube. But he's in that age where he could do that.
That is so wild. Like I just go off of what I read in like Tiger Woods, how I play golf.
Yeah.
I remember if you drop it inside, it's supposed to draw. If you come over the top, it's supposed to slice, and then you got to pay attention to your swing path and all that stuff. But like, wow, that's kind of cool. I might have to try that out when I have my next thing that is going sideways, which has been the short game lately. I'm gonna have to figure out.
Just quick YouTube search.
Yeah,
you
how
can
do
find
I hit
anything.
spinnier flop shots like you?
Yeah.
You've got a really nice flop shot. I wish I had that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I want to touch on a little bit more about like the Broken Club and like why you guys started it and like what got me interested in like obviously helping kids get in the game of golf.
Yeah.
But like when you guys brought that idea to me, it was like, well, how do we tie this back to in sports and some of the stuff that we're already doing through the foundation and helping kids play sports. But we've got this great partnership with First Tee Minnesota.
Yep.
And have done some camps out in South Dakota too with the First Tee of South Dakota. But we were able to bring this networking group of guys who obviously love golf and then turn it into a fundraiser where we're raising tens of thousands of dollars to bring back to First Tee through In Sports Foundation. And this is just the launching point, but we're going to impact thousands of kids' lives through golf, which is just so cool to see. And we'll be able to see that play out in the next couple of years. But just wanted to say thank you to you guys just for like making that happen through one idea on the golf course.
Yeah,
It's wild.
That is really wild. Yeah, it's super fun. It's crazy that it happened. I mean, it was an idea. I mean, you guys do so much work behind the scenes. I have no idea what you guys got going on. I knew people that were members at private golf courses, either through work or personally. So I was just like, I know these people. And then obviously you've met some people through your network and then over at Olympic Hills. And so it's just kind of like, well, we know these people and everyone likes to go play these nice private golf courses, but you can't just go there.
No,
you know,
can't
like
just show.
yeah. Like, I mean, I know some people at some different golf courses, but I don't know somebody at Minneapolis. Like that was so cool to be able to go over there. And then where are we? Edina Country Club, you know, like I don't know anybody directly. Like I know people there, but like I'm not going to be able to call them up and be like, hey, I want to go play Edina Country Club.
You never want to ask, can I go play your course?
You want to get invited, you know? And so like you sit there and you wait for an invite. And then if you get your invite, you're like, oh my God, don't get a migraine. But you know, so like, it's kind of cool that like, it's these networks of other people in their groups. And it's just like, you find all these people and you don't have to be a member at a private golf course to do this either. It's just like, that's kind of the allure. And, you know, people are willing to spend a couple extra dollars to go pay, you know, play there. So we can take that and put it towards something, you know, like somebody's willing to spend $250. I don't know what the membership costs anymore for the Broken Club, but like they'll pay that to go, you know, play at a golf course where you just can't go, you know, call up and make a tee time.
Right.
And then you're playing it with your friends and you're part of this group and you get to meet somebody. It's the networking component's insane. Like you meet like, hey, do I need a new commercial building? Yes. Call Mission Construction. Now I know that, you know, and they use Sonus Interiors as a subcontractor a lot of times, which is a client of mine. So like just a small world and it just
you're just anybody you meet.
Yeah.
You're like, you're just, it's a call away to like the next opportunity.
Yeah. Like Nick Welly, I did not know that I needed a guy that his whole job is installing indoor golf simulators in people's houses. I don't personally need it. I'm not doing that. But like I get asked that question all the time. Hey, who do you know anybody that installs golf simulators? And I didn't until
most people shouldn't try to do it on their own.
No.
And they try and it doesn't work, but like Nick's a professional.
Yeah.
Like
And I think, you know, he actually even texted me because I texted him. I had a referral for him. I played golf with the guy that was like, yeah, I'm putting one in my man cave. Do you know anybody? I was like, here's the guy.
Yeah.
And he texted me. He actually said, the Broken Club was probably one of the best business decisions I've made. And it's like, wow,
I think he's gotten
cool.
like 5 or 6 leads in like 2 months.
Yeah, that's insane. You know,
And how many events are we playing this summer, and at what courses?
So we've got 6 events. Our first one was at Olympic Hills. Then we had Minneapolis Golf Club. We've got Edina coming up.
Super cool.
The Wilds coming up, which will be a member guest event. And then we've got North Oaks and then Wood Hills where we're capping it off at.
Nice.
Season end.
But they're usually 2-man teams, so it's different than your 4-person scramble. It's a little bit more competitive. There's some side games going on, handicap. So you're playing your own ball the whole way unless it's like an alternate shot.
I was going to throw this out there, but like we should maybe do alt shot one of these days. I know that everybody wants to play your own golf ball when you go play these golf courses, but that's a good way to create a friendship with somebody.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you're going to hit this next one. I better hit a good one.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't want to screw
or
this
your
one up for
relationship
him.
could go down.
Yeah. You want a partner that is, well, it's fun both ways. I've had a partner that's like super like I'm not going to miss a shot for you, man. And then I've also had a guy be like, I'm going to hit this one out of bounds probably. You know, have a good time either way. But it's
Any goals to grow the Broken Club for season 2, season 3, and what are we looking forward to?
A lot of growth. I think we can blow this up nationwide, honestly.
Yeah.
We've got some unbelievable partners too. We got like Swanee's on board repping us with all the gear for our tea gifts. Got it on right here.
Yep.
Well, Swanee's is in pro shops all across the country.
Everywhere.
And then they have salespeople all across the country. So you get those types of people involved. And this could grow nationwide and help first tee chapters all across the country.
Yeah. Well, that's just it. I mean, and like, I think everybody like this little tiny golf community that we have up here is not exclusive to here. Like this is everywhere.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, I think that all you got to do is start to meet people in these different communities. Like I'm going to go try to hang out in Tucson again this winter. Hopefully I can meet some more people, but like, you know, run across some people that are down there and be able to go, oh yeah, hey, you want to go play at, you know, Tucson Country Club? Oh yeah, I know a friend and blah, blah, blah. I'd love to host that kind of event. And you're just like, what?
Right.
Sure.
Yeah.
You know, so who knows? But I think that this thing could blow up nationwide pretty easily. And I can't imagine the amount of money it raises. And I can't imagine the amount of kids that are able to get into golf through that. Also, one thing that I thought of as an idea too, like I know that the first tee brought some kids out to Olympic Hills.
Yep.
We should like start to work on talking about that with some of these other clubs too. Cause I bet you the yacht club would love to host.
Yeah. I think that kind of figuring out what that model looks like what's the right amount of kids, how many people can want to come up and help, and what's the curriculum kind of look like. But given that, maybe some inner city kids who would never get the opportunity to go to a private club and experience that just puts that in reality for them, where they're like, this is where I could be someday.
Totally.
Like I could be successful being a member at a private club.
And if they don't see that, they will never know what's possible.
Totally. Yeah. And I think that's exactly what it is for me. I mean, that's the only reason I'm at the yacht club. I got to play there in 8th grade. And growing up, my dad always talked about the White Bear Yacht Club as this prestigious thing. And I was just like, what do I got to do to play out there? He had a client that brought him out to Interlaken once a year, and he said that's best golf course ever. Like it just, golf doesn't get better. And so like he'd always talk about these really cool private golf courses, and I was like, as a little kid, I'm like, I want to go play there. So that was part of the reason
Braxton.
I believe it. He's following the footsteps. But that's part of the reason I actually joined the golf team, was because I got, so in 7th grade, they're like, hey, do you want to go play Delwood Country Club to represent the golf team? And I was like, yeah. I shot 119. And I watched a senior in my group smoke cigarettes on the way out there. And I was like, whoa, I got welcomed into world life real quick here. But yeah, 8th grade, I got to go play the yacht club, and was like, it just captivated me. I was like, I don't know what I have to do to become a member here, but I'm going to do it. Like,
yeah, that is a great thing. Like Minnesota high school golf, you get to play some really cool courses. Really cool. But like for like Olympic was one of my first customers, as a sales rep at Innovative.
I did not know that.
Yeah. It was like random meeting, like through a sales lead generated thing. Went there, met with them. They set up an account, and I'm like, I want to be a member here someday. Like I could see, like this would be a cool spot to be.
Yeah.
If you would have never went there, you would have never thought that. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, that's awesome. I was just gonna say with like the kids that like we're impacting through this and being able to show them the courses that we're gonna be able to take them to and do camps with, it's gonna be awesome.
Yeah. And the thing that I always think about with golf, it's like there's so many things that kids could be doing like in the summer and when like their parent, like when they're home alone, like they could get into drugs, they could get into gangs. Like there's so many bad things that could happen.
Yeah.
But if you're on the golf course,
You have
like,
no time for anything else.
and you're interested and that's what you want to be a golfer, like what a great way to like avoid a kid from getting into things that they
Yeah, you can
shouldn't be
spend a
getting
lot of
into.
time at the golf course.
Oh, your whole life.
Yeah. A whole day for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, no, without a doubt. Yeah, I think that was part of the reason my parents dropped me off of Forest Hills. I think they were like, oh yeah, we know.
Yeah.
You're going to maybe swear.
Yeah.
You're probably going to charge something on the account that you're not supposed to.
Yeah.
Get yelled at.
Get a candy bar.
Yep. Get a candy bar and get yelled at for it. But I wasn't, I was too busy trying to beat my friends on the golf course.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hasn't changed today. 30 years later, almost still doing the same stuff.
It's awesome.
Awesome. Well, Pete, I just want to say thank you for all your support with the In Sports Foundation, with the Broken Club. I know there's a lot of stuff that goes on behind the scenes, but we couldn't do what we're doing with all of that without supporters like you. You've always been a supporter of our golf tournament and now the Broken Club, and I just want to say thank you.
I appreciate it. Thank you. I just love to be a part of it. It's awesome. Yeah. Yeah. What you guys are doing is really, really cool. I mean, I loved the In Sports golf tournament, the one that you guys do at the Wilds every year. I really do actually like it. We play 4-ball, you know that.
Yeah.
We don't play the scramble.
Yeah. You still usually win or get second.
We try.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I loved that because like it all kind of goes back to just like, that's the one thing that NIB donates a lot towards every year was that was like our big budget item for the donations. I know Sam's like, do we have to do that? And I'm like, yes, it's very important to me because I know this money's going someplace, and whether it's golf or not, like the In Sports Foundation is getting kids into sports, which is so cool. I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for sports, golf specifically. But so yeah, I mean, it was super easy to be a part of. I'm just glad that I met you guys and I get to be a part of it.
I know.
Yeah.
Awesome stuff.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, thanks for taking this time to sit down with us. I know you probably got a tea time you got to get to, but
2:30. We got time.
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah.
But no, thanks again for being on Athletes in Sports. And
absolutely,
it's a lot of fun.
Yeah. Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Athletes in Sports Podcast. If you want to hear more inspiring stories from athletes, subscribe to our podcast and follow us on all of our social media channels. Let's keep inspiring kids to get in the game.